Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 8th of December Service Binding Operators Community Call. Today, we don't have anything, any agenda prepared, so we'll go through the issue triaging that we did last week and continue with that. So, looking for the last week, nothing strange. Wrong repo. So we have merged 3 requests since the last week. Open one. There is one closed issue, no new issue. So we can take a look at the old issues. Baiju, you mentioned something last week that we have some issues with. Do you remember what was that?
No. I think we trashed and at least made some changes in some of those issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
Added some labels and marked some of them. So at least those things we discussed already. That we marked it as priority low and good first issue, so that somebody else can pick it up. And so that means we can start only 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more issues are there that we could.
Yeah. So we can take a look at this one. We can go through the list. So this came from outside.
No, he was working with Radar at the time when he created the issue. What was that? Evangelist, technical evangelist or something, right? Like yeah. So that integration we have right now, integration with the AWS under proposal, and we have. Well, I'm working on, for example, the Azure also integration under discussions. So these are separate works are going on. So, but whereas this one issue was like a very generic one, cloud service provider integration, and so I don't see a need to keep such a generic issue like this, because we are already working on different fronts on the same problem, right?
Yeah. If this was
So
meant, if this was meant like in general, yeah, I think we can mention that here.
yeah, and then we could process it. That's my suggestion here in this issue.
Any thoughts, anybody, on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think definitely referencing the fact that we're doing the current investigations into those the other service provider, or like the AWS and Microsoft Azure, may be sufficient to address this particular one, I think.
Yeah, I largely agree.
Okay, so
This given link to AWS proposal has a comment just now. So
thanks.
so
So we are working on AWS, Azure.
Yeah, right now.
Any else?
No, these are the two, and yeah.
Okay. What is that? Integration here. Okay. Would anybody would like to add anything else here? Thanks for the link, Baiju.
I think that is enough. So currently we're working on integration with the AWS and Azure services. So we don't, good enough, I guess.
I guess the only shortcoming I could see is, are we planning on doing future investigations with other services like GCP?
Yeah, that's also in our plan, but not immediate, right? So
Yeah.
we need to start somewhere. So
Yeah, I would say if there is a need for any other service provider, we would cross that bridge once we get there and create an issue for it.
and keeping this kind of more open-ended kind of issues are not good. It's also for a long time.
Yeah, we could always have an issue like make it better,
Yeah.
and keep it always
Right,
open.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look at this one.
No, extract key from. Okay, that is real issue somebody has brought up. We don't have any clear solution yet. So I can summarize that problem. So, when we are looking at, please correct me if I'm wrong. So my understanding is that in SPO template also we don't allow to process attributes with in the template language also. Okay, that's my understanding. So that means if somebody want to, let's say the field is pointing to a JSON blob. Okay, so how do we extract certain values within that JSON and use it as a value for projection? So he's given example in this. So this was actually, this guy, I think is from IBM. I looked at, so there was some IBM cloud service, and this is from that. And they're keeping, the values are like a JSON. So that's a real world example. So how do we extract such kind of individual attributes within, for example, in this case, Postgres or the user, right? So how do we extract only that user or password or individual attributes? This example is clear. So he's given an example that let's say there is a secret with this, the connection is the only attribute there. So right now we can only point to the connection, right? Not to the any substring within that.
Right now, what we are doing is we are taking the entire value in the secret and bind it as a whole. We don't really process it or parse it or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
Question is if we are supposed to, because that can be.
In fact, I actually made a solution also. If you scroll down, can you scroll down? But I closed on that PR. How to? No, not that one. There is a PR. Yeah, I think that was the. Just go there. Okay, scroll down. Maybe there is a PR somewhere I mentioned. Add support for add support for JSON path, something like that. So that implemented, but we had to close that. I think there is a link somewhere. That PR I had to close because that was it was using some JSON path expression or something like that. Some earlier work, okay. But yeah, I vaguely remember that there was some work we had done, but nothing. We had to close that because that approach was not good or something. So this is, and in the spec code also we had some discussion around this idea, but that was they moved to the extensions and decided not to. Yeah, if you scroll down there also you can see something called just as for JSON path or something like that. Yeah, see go v1 template. Yeah, see that one. So extract move. Yeah, so the idea was to create some kind of extension which people could express to access individual values from within a JSON object or something like that. Like a mapping, I guess. Yeah.
So this PR for create mapping extension.
Yeah, but
is it a
yeah, this was a
proposal
proposal,
or
but yeah, it is a proposal. See, as you can see, this it's still open, right? It is not closed. So I propose, yeah, that was another thing. Secret remapping expansion or posted mapping extension. Yeah,
that was closed?
that I also closed. That was some alternative proposal to. Was in favor of, yeah, that was, yeah, there was somebody else solution, yeah, that secret gen and all. So no, this is not related. That's another extension proposal. So this specific problem that original ask, we don't have any easy solution right now. Of course, this need not be in part of this one, but at least having an extension is something that we could think of. So that way, if somebody want to access individual elements within a JSON, I could do that.
But as far as now, we don't have anything to add here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look at another one. Watch only for changes on resources participating in the service binding. Yeah.
Actually, this is the issue that it is assigned to me now but I am almost still working on the other one, right? So once I'm done, I had to start with this. So this issue is different. I mean, it was created long back to start watching for certain resources. After once we removed all the watches, now we are bringing back to limited way because as an optimization, right now we are relying on that retry mechanism. So that is also there in pipeline. So should we link this to those story and this one? Is that a
If that story is supposed to, fix this issue, I guess so. But this is an issue, not PR. Do you know the issue ID?
Jira issue ID is 1 minute. Yeah, 111112. Implement watches for label selectors.
This one. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay. I think that.
Okay, this is for label selectors. That's all. So it is not a.
It's not that generic.
Expression, yeah, but to some extent, we are introducing these watches again, right?
Correct.
And that
it might be a solution. We would just now advise them to use label selectors once this is there, and it should be. Okay, so this is not. Oh, I see. Predrag has opened this. This is not a customer issue. It's a feature.
No. See nice that Alexis comment there. I mean, that was our original problem. We used to watch whole world, right? Like CSV, everything we used to watch, and that was causing that all performance issues. So we dropped everything.
Yes.
Now we are introducing back slowly. Of course, we. I mean, we are addressing the same problem, but in a phased manner or something, right?
Right, and the fundamental architecture is different now, right? So this may not be the same issue anymore.
Yeah, it is not the same issue, but we are introducing this watch. We are going to introduce some more watches as an once we evaluate it, right? So,
right.
But this issue, do we need to still keep it open? Like this is again like a very generic issue.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I would agree. Like I think with the plans to have performance tests against anything that we're doing going forward, right? It should be within expectations for all the dependent environments that are using us. So I don't think this. I would agree that I don't think that we need to keep this open anymore.
Yeah. So I think then we can say something like on a need basis, we are going to introduce these watches. And is it okay to link to the other issue as an example?
It is public, so it's fine, I guess.
Yeah. And then we can close it.
All right, and refresh crossplane. That is kind of an issue that we said, we would create for a particular service provider. I don't see any activity for more than a year now.
We don't have anything concrete, but we are discussing the same in a different way right now, right? So I don't see anything of those discussions are not yet complete, so we cannot give any comments here, right? So
Well, now with label selectors, in provision services, we can just say that if anybody wants to, and if as far as I know, well, I don't know any resource in Kubernetes representing crossplane provision service that we might want to bind to. So to be able to bind to this this kind of services, we would have a secret and bound to that, right? That is a way to bind. Shobik has mentioned here that we just need to validate binding an application to provision resource, something like so. I guess that now. So I don't think we really need to there is no operate, or I don't know about any Vulkan operator for these kind of services that we might want to bind to like that. So I think we can close this issue since there is no activity for more than a year now. There is no big interest in this yet, from as far as I know. So we can close this, and if there is a demand for it, we can revisit it. What do you think?
I think that's acceptable.
yeah, I'm fine with that. So
Especially considering that we haven't seen a response on this in more than a year. So
definitely crossplane is a very important project that I could see keep coming from various places in various discussions.
Yeah, we need to focus on the main players now first.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we are done with the issues. There is no other. There is. Okay, so anybody would like to add anything else? Just checking the agenda here.
And for the one that issue that extracting JSON that we are not, should we bring up that again so that we could discuss and maybe or ask for that person to whether there is a need for that. I don't know whether this status code change. Maybe we could add a comment there. Whether he is still looking for this feature or not.
You mean this?
Yeah. Maybe we can ping that person and see whether this is still a relevant issue or is still looking for this feature.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it's a very old issue, but still we could just ask. Yeah, good.
Okay. We have 4 minutes left. Any final thoughts? Okay, I think we are done. So thank you for attending. See you next
Thank you.
week.